Hey, it's Michael Kosta. This is the Tennis Anyone podcast. How you doing? 2025, January 2nd, Thursday, first broadcast of 2025. And, American news sucks. Some guy ran over 15 people in New Orleans on Bourbon Street at 3 a.m. New Year's Eve. That guy sucks. I'm glad he's dead. Another guy blew himself up in a cyber truck, which, I've always said, if you're going to go ham, just kill yourself and then leave everybody else out of it. I used to do this joke that would get dark laughs, and let's start the year with it. It was a message to all future mass shooters. And I would say, hey, one of the things that's been happening lately with mass shootings is their guns have been getting jammed, which is true. A lot of these people that do mass shootings, they don't really know how to use guns, and so they overheat the barrel, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, hey, future mass shooters, why don't you take a look at your gun? Why don't you look down the barrel? Why don't you fire the trigger a few times? The joke being that if they did that, they would no longer be able to inflict harm on others. Happy New Year. 2024 was a great year for a lot of reasons. It's easy to get wrapped up in national politics, but really let's get wrapped up in local politics. Let's get wrapped up in your life. I'm alive. I have a wonderful family who loves me. They love me a little bit less after the holidays now. I love them a little bit less too. By the way, these acts of violence, they always happen like after the holidays. People just aren't good, especially Americans. We're not good at decompressing. It's about connection. Something is disconnected with us, and it's easy to blame social media. It's easy to blame Donald Trump. I think those things are a symptom. It might be actually, you ready for this? This is going to suck. It might actually just be the internet. I don't know if we are able to comprehend all the information we have. And maybe it's overwhelming and we don't know how to handle it, and misinformation and disinformation and information as war and a weapon, and maybe it just, I don't know. Well, my point is this. Let's focus on the positives. I have a wonderful family who loves me. I have a wonderful job where I get to take the piss out of American politics. So many different people came up to me when I was in Chicago performing at the Den, and when I was in Minneapolis performing at the Cedar Cultural Center, both awesome and totally different places. Then I went to Owasso, Michigan, which is right outside of East Lansing, Michigan, to do a fundraiser. So many different people came up to me and said, thank you for what you do. You make it all seem okay. We turn to you in the Daily Show for comfort and laughs. And am I a hero? Yes, that's exactly what this is about. No, it makes me feel good. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. And I would also tell anyone, you don't just have to be on TV to accomplish that. As a stand-up comic for 17, 18 years before I was on TV, we did that also. So anyone who creates anything, art, music, comedy, an author, arts and crafts, anyone who creates, tell them that what they are creating is of service to you, is value to you. And it feels good. It feels good. There's all different levels of artists. What is an artist? I've long told, I have friends that do comedy as a hobby, and they seem way happier with comedy than the rest of us who make it their full-time job. I have friends who create art. Sorry. The first 4 minutes, which I'm going to try to just include in this pod, trying to get something fixed on the roof. Of course, there's a problem. He called while I was doing the pod. I had to go up, talk to him. Don't worry, folks. Only going to be $25,000 more. No, we don't know what it's going to be, but I will say all of my fears of owning property in New York City have come true as far as, am I being screwed over? If I don't realize I'm being screwed over now, I'm being screwed over later. You don't realize it. I was saying and talking about all the things I'm grateful for. A family that loves me, usually, my health, my movement. My back is kind of fucked up, but I'm able to do Pilates and yoga and go hiking and hold my children, and I'm not in pain. You know, so many people are in pain, physical pain. It just sucks. I'm thankful I'm not in that. If you are in that boat, I sympathize with you, and I hope you can find a solution. My mom is still kicking ass at 78. My brothers and my sister everybody's healthy and good. Nobody's perfect. Life isn't perfect. And there's just, career, so many wonderful, fun opportunities presented themselves to me this year. And it's not lost on me. I've always wanted to host a late night show, and I've been getting to host The Daily Show, one of my favorite shows ever as a kid. I've always wanted to perform stand-up comedy any and everywhere, and I've been doing that. I have tried with some success this year. I love comedy clubs, but I'm trying a little bit harder to try something different. Maybe do an independent venue. Get to know the people that are buying tickets to see me as opposed to just to the Giggle Garage in Decatur, Illinois. So it's been a great year. A lot of great stuff. From a book and tennis standpoint, my book Lucky Loser comes out March 11th. Tennis, this podcast has always been a passion thing, and it's gone way further and more than I ever anticipated. The amount of people that come up to me and say, I listened to you. Where are the episodes been, dude? Let's go. And I'm like, it's holidays. So thank you. On that front, I am doing this exhibition in Asheville, North Carolina with Andy Roddick and Andre Agassi and Emma Navarro and Jessica Pagula and a bunch of other quote-unquote TV celebrities just like me. That's February 2nd. You can Google that if you're in the Asheville area and you want to come, but I'm going to be playing some tennis. I'm going to be officiating some tennis. We are there solely to raise money for really an area of the country that got hit extremely hard by hurricane, and nobody seems to give a fuck. I mean, it's like way gone on the news. We love this sensationalized shit. We love the images and the video of a Cybertruck burning in front of a Trump hotel with the fire sprinklers going off. We love that type of imagery. What we don't love is, hey, it's been 6 months and we still don't have drinking water for these people. Or, their community's been devastated. So that's February 2nd. In March, I'll be down in Palm Beach with Kevin Anderson and his charity at the, is it called the Breakers Hotel? It's this fucking insane hotel that I have no business staying at. So some cool tennis stuff coming up. My goal has always been to do some stand-up comedy, do some TV, and to do some tennis, and just try to, say what you want about Joe Rogan. I love how Joe Rogan made $700 million off of his podcast, and then every once in a while goes and commentates on MMA. What? So I think I was raised to have many interests and be well-rounded, and I'm trying to create a career the same way. I hope you are too. I'm not a big resolutions guy. And I didn't think of any. Other than truly, I just was feeling very grateful at the end of this year and appreciative, and also aware that I don't think next year at this time, I think things are going to be different. I don't think better, worse, whatever. I just think, I just know they're going to be different. That's how life works. From a Daily Show perspective, probably. Are they going to keep doing rotating hosts forever? Jon Stewart going to just work Mondays? I don't know. Stand-up comedy is alive and well, but there's a lot of bad stand-up comedy. Man, when you saw the Netflix stand-up comics that made the most money this year, didn't that blow you away? It wasn't just Netflix, but it was the tours. I think it was Nate Bargatze, Matt Rife, Sebastian Maniscalco, and it was just kind of blew me away that first of all, how much money they pull in, but also I was surprised at the names. But I had to talk to myself. Michael, was your goal ever to make $55 billion? Hey, buddy, come here, Walter. Come on. You want to play? Come here. Look at this guy. For those of you watching on YouTube, you are now looking at my dog, Walter. He's mad. He's ready to go out. He doesn't like that the roof guys are here. What's up? What do you got to say? Nothing to say. Enough about me. Happy New Year. Tennis is alive and well. Somebody burned themselves alive in Las Vegas in the Cybertruck. Of course, Elon Musk used it as see how well our truck is made? Shut the fuck up. It is scary to think that he needs to, his whole strategy is to be this close to Donald Trump. Why? It begs the question of why. Why does he need to be this close? Probably to benefit him. Hey, next week, January 10th and 11th, I'll be in Madison at one of the best comedy clubs in the country, Comedy on State. 4 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Love you guys. But enough about me. How about you? I've got these signed tennis court books, not by me, by Nick Pacelli, this awesome book of aerial shots of amazing tennis courts around the world. And I've got 2 of them for you, my listeners. Look at this. Beautiful. Signed by the author. And I'm going to give them to you. But then I thought, wait a second. I'm not just going to give it away. I want you, listener, to pull up the ATP all-time ace leaderboard. I tried to pull up the WTA, and the stat page isn't working. So all I have is the ATP all-time ace leaderboard. Do you know who it is? It's John Isner, 14,470 aces currently. If he were to win a set 6-0 and not lose a point, that would be 24 points. He is roughly 600 sets he's served aces worth. Does that make sense? So here's your homework. If you would like a signed copy, I have 2 to give away of The Tennis Court by Nick Pacelli. You need to go to the ATP ace, all-time ace leaderboard, pick someone that surprises you, and message me why. And it can be under 20 words. It can be 10 words. Here, I'll give you an example. I'm surprised the number 46 is Wayne Arthurs. So what I would do is if I wanted to get a signed copy of Nick Pacelli's The Tennis Court book, I would direct message Michael Kosta on Instagram or email him, michael@michaelkosta.com. And I would say book subject or subject of the email, book, The Tennis Court, I want a book. And my subject would go, hey, number 46, Wayne Arthurs, who the fuck is that? That would be it. So you're gonna like looking at the all-time ace leadership board, and you're gonna be surprised with some names. Shoot me an email or a direct message, the name, the number of the person on the ace all-time leadership board, and why. And keep it short, and I'll pick 2 that I love. And I'll send you signed copies of Nick Pacelli's book, which you're going to love. It's a great coffee table book, and it deserves to be on anyone that even likes tennis a tiny bit. Deserves to be on their coffee table. Yes. Brisbane is happening right now. Novak Djokovic, number 1 seed, beat Gael Monfils 3-3. plays Riley Opelka, who's back now with a protected ranking. So far, my boy Petechi Pericad, you know who I'm talking about, the French guy who serves 2 first serves. He beat Francis Tiafoe, the 4 seed, in straight sets. What's his ranking right now? Giovanni Petechi Pericade. Giovanni Becci Pericad. 216 pounds, 6'8", turned pro 2021. And he's already got $1.7 million. 2 titles. Career high ranking is 30. He's ranked 31 right now. The guy's a beast. Fun to watch. So Brisbane is happening right now. Hong Kong is happening right now. Both ATP 250s. Kind of fun that Novak Djokovic is playing this, right? He looks good. He looks fitter somehow. Isn't that crazy? Surprised that Novak Djokovic is number 16 on the ATP Ace all-time leaderboard. Not surprised that he's there because he's played for so long, but his serve is definitely underrated. He has a very good serve. Andrei Rublev is the first seed in Hong Kong, and he lost first round to Fabian Morajan. If I was on the ATP tour and they asked me to record my name, I would play like background music. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like, "Oh, Michael Kosta, how do you say that?" And they would click play, and it would be like, "Dun dun 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 Michael Kosta, boom," like that. That's what I would do. I'd have some personality with my game. So that's everybody I know talks like this right now. In fact, if you go back to the Tennis Anyone archives in January, February, I have this voice. It's holiday voice. It's kid voice. My brother calls it camp counselor. When you have kids and it's the weekend or the holidays, you wake up and it's just like, okay, I'm a camp counselor today. I'm doing arts and crafts. We're taking walks. I'm dealing with kids crying. And we were in the writer's room at the Daily Show last week that we ended in December because I was the host that last week. I remember someone said like, hey, your reward for hosting a great week is you get to spend 3 weeks with your kids. Oh, but we love them. Okay, so right now, quarterfinals of Brisbane, Djokovic, Opelka, Pericard, Mensik. Who the fuck are these guys? Jarry versus Lehečke. The fucking guy from Croatia who's good. Jamin Thompson. He's got to love playing down under. Aye, mate. And some guy named Dimitrov. And then the semifinals is 4 of the same players named TBA. Good jokes. That's Brisbane. Where's Hong Kong? Oh, I pulled it out. Hong Kong right now, quarterfinals. Marajan versus Shang. Nishikori with a wild card? What? Versus Cam Norrie. Mueller versus Fils. Munar, Spaniard, versus Musetti. So no one crazy over there in Hong Kong, but keep in mind, these guys travel. God, they travel so fucking much. And then, of course, where a lot of players are playing right now is the United Cup, which I think is in Perth, Sydney and Perth. Explain that to me. Don't try. It's complicated. It's countries. U.S. is Coco Gauff and Taylor Fritz. Where's USA? Trying to find the United States. I think we're in the semifinals. Is that women or is that men? Oh, geez. I'm hurting. Canada, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Leylah Fernandez. By the way, I was in Canada, I was in Australia 20 years ago playing tennis, and this thing was still going on. This is a really historic tournament, and they fucking love it. It's their summer. This is like when we get Cincinnati and Montreal and the U.S. Open. They go crazy down there. I feel bad for the players because everywhere they go, the people are like, this is our tournament. It's like, holy shit, my back hurts. USA, Taylor Fritz, Coco Gauff. And I think they're in the semis, I think, and they're playing Croatia maybe. It's kind of complicated to figure out. It's another one of these team environments, just like Davis Cup and the Laver Cup, blah, 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 blah. But keep in mind, if you're a tennis player, you want to play something before the Australian Open. And Novak Djokovic looks good. His shoes are skinnier. I don't know what that means, but as soon as I turned it on and saw him play Malfias, I said, those are skinnier shoes. I do feel like with the Cybertruck thing and the New Orleans terrorists, the ISIS guy, by the way, these are both former military, which I found interesting, and then also with the Luigi Mangione executing the healthcare executive. We are missing a lack of connection with our world, and as the rich get richer and the poor get poor, it's not going to get better. So we need to feel like being a global part of the community is important and is satisfying. I've mentioned it before, but people speeding down my road doesn't make me feel like those people are connected to me in any way. Have I thought about going to Home Depot and building speed bumps and getting my drill and somehow using some form of a mason or asphalt anchor my own speed bumps? Yeah, I have thought about that. Have I filled out forms asking New York City to put speed bumps on my road? Yes, I have. Have I seen that over 50 other people have done the same thing? Yes, I have. Has every single request been denied? Yes. Do they tell you why? No. Is this why I hate every year when I look at my payroll taxes and I see how much I pay to live in New York City? I fucking go insane? Yes. When you buy your tiny condo for way too much money and you pay this thing called, it's a tax that goes to the subway. Every time I go down to the subway and I see like used condoms, or I read that a man pushed another man in front of a subway, almost killing him, or I watch all the teens jump the turnstiles, or I smell human shit on the train, do I get furious? Yeah, I do. Do I sound like an old man right now your music's too loud? Yeah, I do. Am I approaching that? Probably. Yeah, probably. Is there world-class Thai food up the street whenever I want? Yes. Have I ever gotten a table because every time I go there, it's full? I've never gotten a table. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, happy 2025. Connect with each other. Be thankful for what you have. It's January 2nd. It's cold. It's gloomy. Credit card bills are going to start to come. People are killing themselves in Cybertrucks and driving down Bourbon Street, one of the most fun places on earth that I've ever been. Don't let it break you. Stay up. Find the sun. Feel the warmth. Remember how great humans are. Remember that jacket you put on and it makes you feel warm? That's crazy. It took us years. We invented that shit. Fire. Go watch Alone, that TV show. Man, do I love that show. You see these men and women just, the smallest victories make them so happy. They get a squirrel, or they improve their shelter, or the wind stops for a second, and it's just like, yeah, it's a win. Take your wins. Thank you to Chicago for showing up and selling out. Thank you to Minneapolis for showing up and selling out. I never played the Cedar Cultural Center before in Minneapolis. And so many people showed up, and long lines to take pictures and appreciative questions and great laughs. I made them laugh. That's my job. We had a lot of fun. It was -2 degrees when I landed in Minneapolis. And I like how at the end I took a couple questions just because it was only one show, and I don't usually get to do one show. So I just was like, let's take some questions. And someone goes, what do you think of Minneapolis? And I'm like, motherfucker, I landed. It's -2. I get to the hotel. I take a nap. I wake up. It's dark because it gets dark at 3:45. That's it. There's no what do I think of Minneapolis. That's it. We're doing the show. That's it. Game, set, match, Kosta. Thanks for listening to Tennis Anyone. I appreciate all of you. If you want your free signed copy of The Tennis Court by Nick Pacelli, email me, michael@michaelcosta.com, or direct message me. something that surprised you with the ATP Ace all-time leaderboard. The name, why, something humorous. And I'll send 2 of these out. Great book. You're going to love having it. Thanks for listening. Game, set, match. Kosta's in your face.